Okay, so as I said in that ring tonight, yeah, I've been through hell and back to make it here today. I genuinely thought that regardless of the issues that I've been dealing with, I would be able to go in there and win. Use my boxing skills, use what you guys saw in that first fight to beat Conor Benn. From that first round, I realized that I was mistaken. But it's okay. You know, I'm a fighter. This is what I do. Regardless of, you know, the dangers and the risk, you know, we go to war. That's what we do. I tried my best. Conor Benn put on a hell of a fight. He had a great performance. He did everything that was asked of him, and I congratulate him for his performance tonight. I'm not going to answer too many questions, but you guys, yeah, go ahead.
Chris, you put on two fantastic fights here at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium with over 60,000 people with those times. Could you just talk about how great of a memory that's been for British boxing?
Yeah, that's not really something I'm talking about right now.
Chris, Radio Raheem down in the front. Tomorrow, everyone was going to speculate about what was the issue tonight, why you weren't able to perform the way you did the first time. Would you like to address that yourself before we all give our own opinions?
No, this is not about me. This is about, this night's about Conor. He did what he needed to do to win. He fought a great fight, and I'm not here to talk about me. He's a tough man. He's a great fighter, and I respect him.
What did you do in the first round that made you know that you were mistaken?
You guys saw. You guys saw what I was in there tonight. Yeah, I thought that, you know, once those bright lights hit and that round went and, you know, I was in there, that, you know, I'd find something. And I tried. I tried hard, but it wasn't there. And Conor was strong, and he was fast, and he was tough. And, yeah, congratulations to him.
Last one from me. You sound like a man who might be done boxing. Is that something you're considering tonight?
No, we're not talking about that right now.
Gentlemen, next in.
Chris, knowing the warrior that you are, do you still want to settle this family rivalry and this rivalry between you and Conor? Would you pass on the trilogy fight, or would you still want that?
You know, right now I'm not really in the state of mind to be thinking about next fights. I need to heal. I need to deal with what I'm dealing with, and then after that, you know, I can start thinking about my path in the sport. Yeah.
The first fight may have been your legacy-defining night in the sport. Now, the clip keeps resurfacing of you as a young boy asking your dad to compete in boxing. You finally got the words that he was proud of you. What do you feel towards that now? How special was that for you?
Next question.
Chris, hi. First of all, I just wanted to say congratulations on the news that you're expecting twins.
Where are we looking at here?
Just here.
Okay, how you doing?
Hey, after the fight, you mentioned that you've been going through some things. We all know that boxing comes with bravado, but what you said felt a bit deeper in the ring. I don't want to pry into anything, but I just wanted to ask, how are you doing away from the ring? And are you okay?
I'm alive. I'm happy. I'm a fighter, you know. I get to do what I love every day, regardless of, you know, the trials and tribulations I go through. I'm still doing what I love to do. I'm still, you know, fulfilled in life. So I'm good. I'm okay.
Chris, you said that you said you went through hell, and you said it again here. Can you tell us?
Buckle up, guys. Today we're going to watch a fighter walk into this press room carrying the weight of 12 brutal rounds. From the moment he speaks, you can hear the honesty. He thought he had the fight in control until the first bell proved him wrong. This moment sets the tone for everything ahead as he admits the battle changed him more than he expected.
What you meant by that?
No,
in specific?
again, I said I'm not here to talk about anything like that. We're not taking away from what Conor did tonight.
Did you feel like you were anywhere near 100% tonight?
You guys saw what I did in the first fight. You guys can come to your conclusions after watching what just happened.
James, just there. Were you surprised by Conor at all and the improvement in his boxing in particular?
He had a different strategy. Which actually was better for me. No, I wouldn't say anything surprised me.
Hi Chris, you said Conor Benn gained your respect in there tonight as a fighter. Does he have your respect as a man now?
No, he gained my respect from the first fight. You know, it's you share a ring with a man for 12 rounds or 24 rounds now. Of course you have that respect for him.
Chris, at the end of rivalries we obviously like the fighters embrace tonight. There was an embrace between you and Conor. What was said between the pair of you? Can you share what you were saying to him, what he said to you?
I told him we'd done something that no one's ever done before and no one's ever going to do again. And yeah, he should be proud.
Any closing remarks you want, Chris?
No.
Ben?
Look, all I would say is...
Okay, guys, I'm gone. All right.
All I want to say is Chris, what Chris went through in camp, he won't want to talk about it, but the things I saw, he did incredibly well to get in the ring tonight. And I just want to say, he's the reason this has been so big. I know you don't want. Chris doesn't want to see it, but I saw what I saw, and he deserves a huge amount of credit to get in there tonight. It was an unbelievable spectacle again. Thank you to Turkey Ali Sheikh. Thank you to all the media that turned out, and yeah, we'll see what's next. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. I think Conor will be with you shortly.
Okay. It's a bit hard with the old man. He's such a gentleman, isn't he? I'm always posting, I want people to work. It's like, oh, nice. Yeah. But you're like, Jesus, Ben. Here he comes.
Come on, Nige. You're always late, Nige.
He's sitting here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, just a remarkable two fights. The first fight, obviously different to the second fight, a fight where we needed to stay calm, fight with no emotion, follow the game plan. I thought Conor Benn was just sensational tonight, a mature performance, and just a massive victory, stepping up 2 divisions, fighting a middleweight, and I guess becoming the first Ben to beat a Eubank night. Sorry, mate. And now we move on to do what he hasn't done yet, which you did, which was to win a world title. But before I open to the floor, I just want to say how proud we all are of Conor Benn. It was probably only a year ago, honestly, where you talk about on the floor, this guy was completely finished, mentally, emotionally, financially, and he never stopped fighting. He never stopped training, and he never stopped fighting. And I think, I said earlier in the ring, this event, sponsored by Movember, which is a charity designed to aid men's mental health. We talk about suicide rates and stuff like that. If people knew how down he was and how much trouble he was in all those parts of his life, he should be a true role model an inspiration to those people to show there's always a way out. He always kept the faith, and he never stopped working, and he kept on believing. And there were times when people said, just jack it in, Con, just, you know. He said, no, I'm not giving up. I'm not going to stop fighting for my name. And he did that out of the ring, and tonight was a culmination of all the hard work of a young man that we saw make his professional debut at the O2, who was all over the place. A guy that honestly I didn't believe would win an area title. He's just filled Tottenham Hotspur Stadium twice. He's secured his family and his children's financial legacy forever, and now we're going to move on and make a true legacy in the sport to win a world title. So I wanted to say we're very proud of Conor Benn and everything he's done. He's an inspiration to people to show you there's always a way back. So well done, Conor Benn. Questions to the floor? Yeah. Hold on, sorry, we're going to go Mike.
Yeah, congratulations, Conor. Did you anticipate, given what happened in the first fight, the second fight being quite so straightforward for you and you dominating in that fashion?
I think for me it was a matter of, when I said I beat myself that night, I really did feel like I beat myself. It wasn't the strategy, it wasn't the game plan. My head wasn't in the right place to fight. You know, I say a strong mind can...
All right, guys, here we move into a raw moment where the fighter confronts a question everyone is scared to ask. He doesn't hide behind tough talk. Instead, he opens up about needing time, healing, clarity. You can feel the exhaustion and the honesty as he admits he's not ready to think about the future. It's a rare look at vulnerability most fans never get to witness.
A weak body, but a strong body can't carry a weak mind. And I look strong. I look very strong, but I was still broken. I had to fight for many reasons, for financial reasons, to be active, to give the public the fight. The public wouldn't have accepted any other fight, so I felt like I owed it to the public to have that fight. But was I ready? No, I can't say I was. But ultimately, I've gone in there and stayed disciplined and showed that I can box the bigger man without getting drawn into a fight, which is what he tried to do and which we very easily could have done. When I hurt him in the first or the second and I threw a haymaker, it very easily could have gone that way, but I just had to keep my emotions at bay and stay disciplined in there.
You spoke in the build-up about this being your last fight at 160 and welterweight being the target, but given how heavy you came in and how well you handled it, do you think there might be maybe a fight at 54 before? Will you go straight to welterweight now?
I think for me, winning the WBC world title is heavy on my heart, heavy on my mind. Getting that WBC world title was the belt my dad won. It was the belt I would love to win. It's my dream. So for me to be one up on my dad with the Eubank Benn rivalry and also win the WBC world title, it'll be some moment for me.
Just one last one. I wondered how you felt in the ring, looking out and 50 Cent turning up. Did anyone tell you that was happening? No,
but what's 50 Cent going to do?
Conor, a contrast of emotions. Only a few months ago, you were obviously very down after the first fight. You've been through a hell of a lot. Does tonight almost feel like light at the end of the tunnel? Like you just walk through that door and you know it's all worked out?
I feel like I'm going to go home and cry. I feel like I'm going to go home and cry, yeah, because it's just... Oh man, it's been hard. Facing my first loss, coming back from adversity. It's things you got to do. As a man, you go through things in life and you don't know why, but you just have to keep fighting. Staying in shape, staying in the gym, turning up when you really don't want to turn up. Facing your own demons every single day. You know, that's the hardest fight, really. You have to live in your head every single day. You know, getting in the ring for 36 minutes is no problem.
After the first fight, obviously in the first one you used a lot of emotion. How did you manage to channel that for the rematch? Because tonight you were very composed, you didn't smother your work, you used the jab effectively. How did you manage to switch back and almost take that emotion out of it to make sure you won?
It's the chip on my shoulder. People saying, oh, you can't box, you can't do this. It was like, all right, cool, we'll watch then. because ultimately you say I can't do it. That's because you can't do it. I can do it because I'm set my mind to do it, and that was my fuel. I wake up in the morning and go, whoa, what? People think I can't box? Or people think I can't out boxing for 12 rounds? Watch me. And that was my fuel. Everyone has their chimp on their shoulder that gets them going and gets them out of bed. That was mine for the camp.
Conor, Radio Raheem down in the front. Last time we sat here, you were gutted because you couldn't get the knockout. You said it was just out of your reach. Tonight, the same. You got closer tonight, but is it still going to haunt you, even in victory, that you couldn't quite get the knockout finished?
I did say early on in the week there was going to be a systematic beatdown, and that's what I done.
Eubank said in the first round he knew he had made a mistake tonight. At what point in the fight did you know that he had made a mistake and this was going to be your night?
When I hit him with that right hand. That was when I knew he won. I don't think he recovered. There was a body shot I threw in there early on, and I just targeted the body early on. The stiff jabs to the body, the rights to the right hooks to the body, the straight right hand to the body. It broke him down. And that was my strategy going in and staying disciplined.
You were right, you took his soul in the first fight as well.
Yeah, I did.
You were shouting something to him at the end of that round. What were you saying?
I was just saying, it's easy work. Is that all you got? It was easy work. But the fight could have easily been the same fight if I hadn't been disciplined. There was moments in that fight where I was like, well, you want to go? Well, let's have it then. And it's hard for me to sort of tone it down because I'm that character, I'm that guy in my head. So for me, it really is just me fighting myself in there and being disciplined. And I felt like a lot of pressure from my team, as in Tony and my dad, and to get it right, because you can't get it right for 8 weeks and then not get it right fight night. Like, you'd be a mug, you know. So for me, it was like I really wanted to do Tony proud because he knows I can do it, but you can't do it until you done it. I done it.
And last one from me. Obviously, it's tied now. Is there any appetite?
Done.
Is there any appetite whatsoever?
I don't know how long I can make 1474. So for me, I mean, listen, money always talks, doesn't it? But for me, for my personal reasons, how much money do you need? So for me, it's let me get that world title, and for me, that would be a box ticked.
Conor, congratulations. Nigel, I had a question for you. You've been honest in the past about wanting more from Conor, but tonight he took a huge step forward and did brilliantly. How proud are you to be Conor Benn's dad? And how are you going to deal with all the jokes at home now?
You're trying to make us cry up here now.
Thank you for that, because it's actually, I don't know if Conor knows, but this is actually my last training camp. I won't be coming over no more. I've been coming over for spending like sometimes 6 to 8 months of the year here. I can't do it no more. I've got 3 lovely kids in Australia that need me. I've got a lovely wife who stood by me through thick and thin, and me and my wife are on the other side of the clock now, and I need to spend new quality time with my wife and my little boy Levi. I spent 10 years with Conor.
Does that mean I'm bringing you all over then?
No, you're not. No, you're not. I spent 10 years with Tony and Conor, helping him get to where he is today. And now I've got a lovely little boy, Levi, who wants to be a professional footballer. And now I've got to start working on his mindset. Conor's in good hands. Got Tony, Lee, Pedro, Dan, Justin, Kaleem. He's got an unbelievable team and a lovely wife as well, Vic. And
buckle up, guys, because this part dives deep into mutual respect forged in the heat of battle. After 12 rounds, the fighter speaks about an opponent he now sees differently. Then a team member steps in, revealing the sacrifices made in camp and the unseen struggles behind performance. It's a powerful reminder that what happens in the ring is only half the story.
So I'm leaving him in good hands, but I got to spend my time with my wife, who stood by me through thick and thin and loved me through everything that I went through. And I thank you, Caroline, because you actually made me the man that I am today. Without you, I don't even know I'd be here.
Wow.
So, thank you.
Conor.
But Nige, you just got a six-pack back.
And she wants me to keep it for her.
Conor, what does it actually mean to you personally and for your dad to win this battle and win it for the Benn family name?
Do you know what? I'd say it would be on par with winning the world title for me, winning tonight. It meant a lot to me. You think 3 years of my career, this has been the fight. Family feud, it's generational. It's never been done before in history. So to forever have that win means a lot to me, and it will forever be cemented in history.
Conor. Oh.
No.
Rachel was talking all things boxing. Conor, it's lovely to see you because obviously the last time I saw you was in this room a few months ago, and it's wonderful to see you here with a big smile on your face and with the victory. I felt quite emotional seeing you all in the ring because it just was very evident how much it meant to everybody up there, not just the family. And you spoke very honestly in the lead up to the last fight about loss being the thing you feared the most, and then you actually faced that fear and you tackled that demon, and it felt like that made you lighter almost, that you fear because you didn't have that fear anymore. Did you feel like that was apparent in this fight, that you didn't have to worry about that anymore?
I don't know, because it depends what you're fueled by. For me, I'm fueled by fear of losing. I'm fueled by fear of not being a winner. That's what gets me going. Some people say, well, why don't you just love winning? Well, I do love winning, but also fear losing more. And for me, I couldn't lose to the same man twice, because then you sort of avenge that loss. Did I really lose or did I learn? And for me, it was a massive learning curve. Right. It was my first stadium show, first fight at 160, first fight back in the UK. There was just so much going on, whereas now it's calm Conor is a better Conor.
Yeah. And it was a beautiful display of boxing. Well done. It was just brilliant, and I'm really glad that I got to be a part of another night of history. Thank you,
Rachel.
James.
Conor, we just seen a clip of you walking into the change room there. In contrast to April, and also, as Eddie mentioned, what you've been through and how low you were, and people around you saying you should give it away and all of that, to be able to give those people that moment in that changing room, what does that mean to you?
There's a lot of people in the changing room that were there for me during them times, gave me words of advice, helped carry me through, because ultimately I couldn't do it alone. I wasn't strong enough to do it alone. I had good support people around me, gave me wisdom, and helped carry the load. So for me, everyone in that room, the win's for them. The win's for every single one of us. Because when I was down, we was all down. And when I'm up, we're all up. I wouldn't be the man I am, I wouldn't be the fighter I am, I wouldn't be who I am without my team. I left my family in Australia, so the team that I've built around me now is from day dot. Ain't no one new here. This is 10 years of team, same team, through and through. No change. So for me it's loyalty to them and appreciation to them, and ultimately I work as hard as I do to repay them for supporting me through the past 2-3 years.
And just, Eddie, how close is that world title fight, do you think, for him?
It's there. I mean, he's, of course, on a heavyweight sometimes a different kettle of fish, but as far as I'm concerned, Conor Benn's right up there with the biggest star, not just in British boxing, but in world boxing. He's just filled a stadium twice. The story's incredible. And, the emergence of him, we know the story coming out of his father's name, and that's the difficult thing to do. And what is remarkable about him and Chris Eubank Jr., to be fair, they're both really tough kids, and boxing is not generally for people that come from that background, but it is when it means something to you, and you've got a passion for it, and you love it, and it's built within you, and that's with Conor. So the future is so exciting. Now we'll go and do the science with Dan and Conor to do it effectively, to get down to that weight, because it's not just making that weight, it's performing at that weight to the best of his ability. But he's going to walk in and people were calling him out after the Chris Eubank loss. Now he's won. I mean, like, with all due respect to Haney, Norman, Rolly Romero, Lewis Crocco, we represent. This is the star of the 147-pound division. This is the money of the division. That's why everyone's calling him out. So we're going to be just fine. But Conor's right,
All right, guys, this section hits with real emotional weight. Here, we witness a message bigger than boxing as Conor's journey becomes a symbol of resilience. From mental and emotional collapse to standing tall again, his story becomes a rallying point for anyone fighting their own battles. This moment turns a press conference into something deeply human and inspirational.
I didn't agree with all of what he said, because he kind of said, I've got the money now and that's not as important. Sure, come Monday, that'll be a different conversation.
Of course it will.
But
Sounded good though, didn't it?
Yeah, I was actually thinking, wow, this sounds good, but then I thought, don't be silly. But the reality is he is right. Now, that you can't, people talk the legacy's World Championships, it is. But that was legacy tonight. That was legacy in April. Those scenes, I mean, those drummers up there to Phil Collins, and even Eubank coming out to 50. Where do you see stuff like that? It was unbelievable. But I know that every time he trains in his gym at home, he's got that WBC belt that his dad won up on the wall, and he's looking at that every day and he says, I'm going to get one of them. The Barrios fight's there, the Crocker fight's there, the Haney-Norman fight's there. But like I said, we're in such a wonderful position. We've got a big fan base, we've got a wonderful, broadcaster behind us. And like he said, and I want to just say one thing as well. This team of people, you see a lot of them, they're all wearing blue tracksuits in here. Every one of you, what a job, what commitment. Tony Sims, the job that he has done to bring Conor Benn through. You never see Tony going out, doing all these interviews, building his own social media. He's not even an underrated trainer, because everybody in boxing knows what a great trainer is. But honestly, you've worked so hard.
Do you know what though? Like, a lot of trainers get fighters that come on through their GB setup, or they're well established as an amateur. Tony's taken me from a raw novice. Like, from a guy...
You were rawer than raw.
I was terrible. I was terrible. If I told any of you lot we'd be sitting here in this room today, back then you lot would think I'm mad. Every single one of you. So that's credit to Tony as a trainer. He's shaped me and moulded me into the fighter I am now. But not only the fighter I am now, but the mindset I have and the work ethic we put in. He's been like my second dad here. I've left my family in Australia and come here, and when there's a shoulder to lean on, it's Tony. Through and through the worst of it together. And now we're sitting here through hard work and perseverance and diligence to make sure that even through the bad times we see it through together. Because it was a bad time for me and Tony, so it's win is for me and Tony in here today.
And also, I think Tony would agree, when you busted your jaw and you were out for ages, you never left the gym. You were always in the gym, even with a broken jaw, working, obviously not sparring, but you never stopped working. And also, just a shout out to Dan Lawrence or Pedro, also an unbelievable addition to the team. Lee Emptage, you've been unbelievable. You are literally, you do not leave his side.
Go on, Lee.
Unbelievable.
Go on, Lee.
And even through the tough times, you were suffering, and I'm sure you were trying to get paid as well, but it never really happened for you. But you had to wait a long time, but you stuck in there through and through. And two other people as well, I just want to say, Everlast. I think there's a couple of people in here today. When the chips were down and it would have been very easy for them to walk away, they stayed. And as I said to Michael Murray tonight, thank you. That'll always be remembered. And we look forward to the new contract negotiation as well. That was a joke, a little bit of a joke. And also DAZN, who, when it was easy to turn you back, and like everybody else, and go, let him get on with his appeal and then we'll deal with it later. They went, no, we're going to back him. And they won tonight as well. So thank you to those people.
Nigel, I spoke to you after the first fight.
I'll address this to Conor, but Nigel, I spoke to you after the first fight in April and I said, how can Conor become bigger and better in the same way you did against Chris Eubank Sr. all those years ago? I know many people thought you got the win. He did just that tonight, was bigger, was better. So Conor, this one goes to you, but Nigel, feel free to jump in. How good does that feel?
It feels great, mate. It feels great. There's not really much more I can say. I don't still feel like it's sunk in. I'm still like going through it, do you know what I mean? But I feel like we're done now. Like, it's just like I can breathe. Like, this has been like 3 years of my life hearing Benn, Eubank, Benn every single day. So for me to sit here and go, yeah, it's done, and I've ended it on a win, that's chapter closed, let's just move on now.
Conor, congratulations with the win. Would you say the experiences from the first fight allowed you to perform as well as you did tonight?
Yeah, do you know what? If I had performed exactly the same and done the same thing first time round, I would have classified the first fight as a loss. I would have gone, well, what do you learn? What's the whole point here? If you don't adapt and you don't change, you don't grow. You know, so you have to go through things in life. Sometimes take a loss. Sometimes go through a bit of adversity. It's what you find out about yourself and who you are. Can you change? Can you adapt? Can you grow? Can you get better? And for me, that was a big thing in my head. It was a big theme in my camp to do better. Just do better. That's it. Just do better. And that was what kept driving me as well.
And Tony, you said in the week that if Conor made those adaptations to his game, he'd have won the fight. I mean, fair to say he made those corrections tonight.
Yeah, like you say, I said at the press conference, he had to adapt. He had to stick to the game plan. He worked hard in the gym to make them different changes in the way he's going to fight. And I said all along, if he does that, he'll win the fight convincingly, and he did win the fight convincingly. And I'm very proud of him that he stuck to the game plan, and he boxed so well, and he nearly ended it in that 12th round. If there was a little bit more time, it would have been over and done with. But yeah, I'm very proud of the way he boxed. And like I was saying earlier, he's as a coach, it's not always easy when you've got a 147 fighter and you're putting him in with a 160 fighter. It's you know, it's very hard to develop the 160 power when you're a 147 fighter. But I think he showed tonight that he adapted really well. And you know, the aim now is to drop to 147 and capture the world title and emulate what Nigel done.
Hi, Conor. In the middle here. First of all, congratulations. We saw you smiling from ear to ear when Eddie mentioned at the start that you've secured not only your future for life, but your family's future for life, in the words of Eddie. Can you talk a little bit about what that means to you?
It means my kids ain't got to worry. That's what it means. I mean, ultimately, my kids are set for life, and their kids. I think it's every dad's dream and goal to give your kids a better life. And for me, I wanted to give my kids no less than my parents gave me, which was a privileged upbringing. And I brought my kids into the world. It's only right I do right by them and give them the best of everything I can. So when he said that, it's like, yeah, being a dad completed it, mate.
Great, and just the final one from me, Eddie. We know you've had your back and forth with Chris Eubank Jr. this week. He was very gracious in defeat tonight. Did you expect that from him?
Yeah, I think that he's, you know, as part of him is building the fight. Part of him is just something that we're never going to get on with personally, and that's fine. But you have to respect him. He's a very, very tough young man, you know, and he's a very good fighter as well. And I said coming into this fight, I just believe that could be his last fight tonight, and who knows what the future holds. But Conor was right in that, you know, the performance tonight was unbelievable. It didn't matter if Eubank was better tonight, we were still winning the fight. But that first fight, when you go through a fight like that, it can change you forever. But it didn't change Conor Benn, it just made him better. Because he's young, he's hungry, and he's got another 5, 6, 7 years in the game. That's the reality. So all the respect in the world for him. And look at the 12th round. He was gone. He couldn't, and he kept getting up. He got up twice when he didn't need to get up, and he was determined to get up. So good luck for him. Good luck in his life, and thank you. You know, thank you, and thanks to Senior. We don't have to get on, but look at what they've given us. I mean, not just what they gave us tonight, but what they gave us in April and what they gave us over the last 3 decades. You know, and Nige, you know, like
at the moment,
we nearly saw the 5th one tonight in the ring before the first bell.
Mate,
you know?
Yeah, because he tried to suck all the oxygen out of the room, mate. And I'll be honest with you, at the press conference, I'm going to say it now, when they had that the weigh-in, and we had a face-off, and he's dancing because he loves the limelight. He don't care about his son. He just loves the limelight. And he's dancing. He come right next to me, and I thought, you know, let me just shake your hand. And I pulled him into a hug, and he put his hand like that up to me. I actually felt like I wanted to And so when he tried to shake my hand tonight, I thought, I ain't playing your games, mate. I ain't playing your games. You know, and I thought to myself, no, I don't even think I'll speak to him again because I find he's the right prat. He's an idiot. He tries to quote scripture and all that. He don't even know what he's talking about. He didn't even know what a frigging harlot was, and he's talking about himself. You know what I mean? So I just can't get him. When you have them two around you, everything's just so negative. And back in the day, we never talk disrespectful about our promoters that put in money in our banks, giving us a good life. We never done that with, like, you know, Frank Warren or Mickey Duff or whatever. We never slagged them off. But the way they used to talk about Eddie, how disrespectful is him? Both of them. And then Eubank's always talking about, oh, look, we're struggling at the way, oh, you know, he's going to kill my son. Mate, he's been a middleweight for how many years? Been an IBO champion? But as soon as he fights the welterweight, oh, we have problems. They're always bloody moaning. Always. I'm telling you what, I'm sick to death of them, telling the truth. And I'm glad it's over now. I'm glad it's over, that we don't have to hear about them anymore. Thank you. Happy? I'm happy now. I've got off my chest.
Gunman Boxing,
Come on, Gunman, what
the
you got
baddest
for us?
boxing channel in the UK. We are here. This is a question for Conor. We are in the Spurs stadium. A lot of fight fans felt that Chris Eubank Jr. was like Spurs tonight. He didn't turn up. Should he retire?
Ooh, I mean, he's got more important things to worry about. He's won in life with getting his twin boys. So, you know, if I was him, I would look at boxing, see what reasons he's boxing for, because ultimately he's a dad of two now. So, you know, that's always a priority. And yeah, I think he should obviously look. It's not down to me to say should he retire, should he not retire. That's between him and his team. But he's got bigger things like life happening right now.
Father Time is unbeaten, and you were peppering him like a sirloin steak at times at will.
Good on you, mate.
Like, can you genuinely see him fighting again?
I can see him having a rematch again.
Buckle up, guys, because this final stretch breaks down the strategy, the pressure, and the legacy at stake. You can feel the fighter replaying the bout in his mind, connecting tactics with emotion as he speaks about family, purpose, and the future. It closes with a powerful moment between father and son, marking the end of a chapter and the rise of another. And guys, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.
Or asking for a rematch, but ultimately, I think we should just let it lie now. No, just let it lie. We done what we had to do. We sold our stadium twice. We done what it said it was going to do on a tin, you know. So let's just call it a day now. Only fight of the Mans is the last fight anyway. So
big up yourself. Bless up.
Wicked.
Yeah. Right, guys. I think we're going to have one more. Dan? Oh, we're good. Oh, go on. Last one. Go on.
Yeah, I've just got a final one for Conor. In terms of what is next for you in your career, you know, you've reached a stage where you've been through a lot of hardship and also a lot to look forward to. At that 147 division, what do you think the sort of the mindset is going to be going into these next few fights? You know, you have to go through a lot of things to get back down to that weight, of course. How do you think you can manage that, and how do you see that going?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be hard, of course, making 147. I've not made 147. I've made 152 a couple of years ago. I've not had to make championship weight 147 for a while. So yeah, it's going to be challenging, but ultimately it's what we do, you know. But I won't be posting videos of me in a sauna blanket.
And on that note, big round of applause for Conor Benn. Unbelievable performance. Thank you to everybody for your support. Hope you enjoyed the two fights. Have a great rest. We'll see you in Riyadh.